October is set up to be a massively bullish month for crypto, as over 15 ETFs for spot altcoins are expected to receive their final determination from the SEC and potentially go live this next month in October. So make sure to stick around and find out what altcoins are going to be listed and what this actually could mean for price action comparing to ETFs of the past. The news is out and markets are on edge as we have ETF month approaching. October's ETF month, according to Cointelegraph, is over 16 crypto funds await final decision. These ETFs are connected to a variety of major altcoins that you all know and love: Solana, XRP, Litecoin off the top ropes, and even a meme coin we all know as Doge. These all have deadlines scattered throughout October. Now, as these deadlines approach, the SEC has made it even easier for approval. The SEC told these ETF issuers to withdraw their 19B4S forms as a new generic standard, make them completely unnecessary, per added by friend of the channel, Eleanor Tourette here. Now, as the volatility of the markets washes people away, this last weekend's washout has left many people wondering if the top is in. We even had some scary signals from the best in the business when it comes to calling tops. Good old Jim Cramer here, saying crypto is fine, live on air on CNBC. Not the greatest look for crypto going into a Monday, but we woke up really nicely. Bitcoin has bounced back with vengeance and is now trading at $113,800 as of the time of this recording. Very important bounce back to see as markets open this Monday. So you might say, okay, great. We have all of these ETFs being readied for approval, but why would we see people take interest? Why would we see people, ETF holders, and even companies take interest in altcoins? Well, one of the main catalysts that I've seen that drove companies like Bitmine into an Ethereum treasury, that catalyst is this. This is the DXY, and on the weekly, it doesn't look so bad, but if you really kind of back up and look at the forest of the trees on what's been happening to the dollar's buying power, it is on the decline. It is decaying with a trend of lower highs. Companies are looking for places to park their buying power. As the dollar continues to ride downhill and to the right, there's going to be speculation from even massive institutions on assets that can actually hold up that buying value in the background. And as we can see, there are many applications incoming, over 16 listed here, but these applications are all over the place and really quite shocking for a lot of people that have been asleep on crypto. Litecoin here with a good amount of applications that are coming due for their final deadline here in October on the 2nd, 10th, and 23rd for Litecoin. Solana coming in with quite a big chunk of this as well, with a large majority of those due to find out if they're going live this next month in October, and XRP. Now, XRP, there's a lot of buildup on this. There's a lot of questions on why BlackRock wouldn't be releasing an XRP ETF. Even without BlackRock, there are companies that are releasing these products for XRP access, and this includes Franklin, CoinShares, and WisdomTree, along with Canary and Bitwise. 21 shares as well. It is important to note that at least one XRP spot ETF is active here in the US. It went live on September 29th of this year. It is the Rex Osprey XRP ETF. Now, in terms of price action, has it sent XRP to the moon? Well, no, not necessarily. But XRP has what I would consider unit bias going for it. Because people that are new to crypto, they're going to come in, they're going to see Bitcoin is over $100,000, nearly $120,000, ranked at the top in terms of market cap. Then you go to Ethereum, again in the thousands of dollars range, 4,162 as of the time of this recording. But XRP, with the third largest market cap, comes in at only $2.89. As crazy as it may seem, I do feel like unit bias is going to be something to take into account when we see the first actual live spot ETFs released for Litecoin, for Solana, and XRP getting much broader exposure. Now, what are the experts in ETFs saying about this release? Well, the SEC has approved this new listing standard for commodity-based trust shares on September 17th, and that could shorten the path to actually launching future crypto ETFs across the board. This is what Safeart has said at the time the policy would change in a positive move towards a wave of crypto ETP launches. And also Eric Balchunas, a fellow ETF analyst, also speculated that there could be many more soon pointing to over 22 coins with futures on Coinbase that are currently eligible for, in his opinion, spot ETFization. Since the change of these listing standards, asset manager Hastex has also expanded the ETF to include XRP, Solana, and Stellar. This is a very, very important time to be watching the charts as we head into the end of the year here. Spot ETFs for many different altcoins are going to go live, and we're going to really get a clear view on if there's enough gasoline in the tank of interest in products other than Bitcoin and Ethereum to really kickstart an alt season like we could only have dreamed of. Now, what we've seen in the past from ETFs being released for assets that actually hedge against monetary irresponsibility, just like what we're seeing all over the place in the US and global markets today, is gold. Let's take a look at gold first and foremost to see how gold reacted when it got a spot ETF released. Now, gold spot ETF went live here at December 2024. Gold's spot ETF actually went live November 18th, 2004. So how gold reacted to its spot ETF release is obviously quite bullish. This is the gold line November 18th of 2004, and gold went on to rally for a maddening 7 years, just about, or 2,472 days from the spot gold ETF release. Now, in terms of percentage gained, it did move up by quite a bit, peaking out at 354%. But this is where the crazy part about Bitcoin being so undiscovered right now truly is. Bitcoin is sitting at right now $2.2 trillion. Gold at its current price levels is over $22 trillion in market capitalization, nearly 10x the size of Bitcoin. So when we overlay that information and timeline, this is Bitcoin's spot ETF release here in January 2024. And since then has had a great run. It's been about, let's just check in, 630 days. And we've had a great upside from this release, right at about 171%. What the gold overlay of Bitcoin's general price action really is telling me, there is likely going to be an institutionally controlled walk up and to the right for quite some time on Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if it's going to last any 7 years, but this current structure of what we know as the 4-year cycle is dealing with something very, very different this time. That is institutional ability and interest in stacking Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now even altcoins, into spot ETFs and treasuries. Hopefully you've been interested in learning about crypto before we got to the point we're at right now. We've never been so here to stay, and this latest dip was a massive buying opportunity for those willing to take it. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I see being rolled out with spot ETFs, global interest, and the general understanding that Federal Reserve interest rate cuts are coming and the M2 money supply continues to go up and to the right, I feel like gold is preceding what's to come for Bitcoin, and I'm locked in for it. If you like this information, make sure to leave me a like and a comment down below. Get involved and become your own bank by getting an Arculus cold storage device using code DC20 and get 20% off today. Thanks for joining me on this Outlook for October Altcoin State of the Union address, and let's see how this rolls out over the course of the next 40 days. I'm of the opinion we're about to see some fireworks.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.